Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Harrington from Wickedoil.com, local Amsoil dealer for Madison, Tennessee, which is basically North Nashville. Come visit us on the web. Trust me, you want Amsoil. I know that sounds like a line, but trust me, this is the stuff. Anyway, that's not what the video is about. I have today a Gretsch G2622TG-P90, meaning P90 pickups. This is a semi-hollow. Notice it's all binding on both sides. It's pretty, boy, if you bought a Gibson with these features, this thing would probably be about $2,500, $3,000. This was on sale for $600, and apparently I liked it. Pardon my garb. I just got home from work and I just can't wait another minute to play my new baby. Anyway, now there's already videos out here of people, talking about these, doing reviews on them and stuff like that. So this isn't so much as a review, although it inherently is. What I wanted to point out is, now I have like 6 electric guitars, and it's the old how many guitars can you play at one time thing, but I've been wanting to try out a hollow body because I'm like, well, I don't know, I think there was at some point in the past when I strummed one a few times, but I wasn't really at that point where I honestly knew what I was looking for. Whereas now I'm, been at this long enough to where I kind of have a pretty fair idea of what I'm looking for, what I'm trying to accomplish. So I see this is the 1st of January 2020. I should have said that in the beginning. I just got this thing like 4 days ago. Anyway, I went to the store I went to Sam Ash is where I got this. I went to the store. I wanted to play a couple of guitars that I've never really had much experience with, and that's a Telecaster and semi-hollow electric. And since I brought up the Telecaster, I played numerous ones, and they were cool. I liked them, but nothing grabbed me in the sub $1,000 range. I mean, they were all nice, but you can tell when you grab a guitar and it's right on. The sound, the feel, the vibration in the body, everything, it just speaks to you, and you go, you know what, this is the one. And none of those were like that. Now, I did find, I played the one that's called the Telecaster Ultra Pro or something like that, and I really digged it. I was really digging it. It felt good, it played good, it had the compound radius neck on it, 10 to 14 I believe is what it was, but it was also almost $1,900 too, so I was like, it would have been $2,000 out the door, and then I don't know, $60 or $70 a month if I financed it. I was like, I've got enough guitars, I don't need to do that crap. Anyway, then I saw a guy when I first walked in who was playing a Gretsch, but it was a blonde, similar to this one, but it had humbuckers in it, and he was playing it, and he was a good player, and it sounded really good, and I asked him what he thought of it, and he was digging it and everything, and he didn't walk out with it. he sat there and played it for about probably 20 minutes, maybe a half hour. Anyway, when I got through playing with the Telecasters, I asked if that guitar was still there, and they said, oh yeah, he didn't leave with it. And I said, huh, that's surprising, because he was really digging it. He was giving it a very good review. So I asked if I could play it, and I did. And it was very nice. It felt good in my hand, in my hands. It had a nice sound to it, but it really wasn't. It didn't grab me. Let me put it to you that way. So I asked him if he had anything with P90s in it, and he said, "Hold on, let me look and see." And he went and he brought this Gretsch in, another Gretsch, and he brought it in, and it had the other one, the first one, Gretsch, was a solid body. It came in, had a Bigsby on it, and I just have absolutely no use for a vibrato. I don't know. I've played plenty of them on Fenders and stuff, and I just think they suck. I don't. If I want the string to vibrato, I'll just vibrate the string, I've just never found one that I liked. Anyway, I played it, and it had a P90 in the neck, but it had a humbucker down there, and I liked that one. I actually carried it up the counter. I said, okay, this is the one. And they, because I did like it, I liked it a lot. And I said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to buy it. And while they were writing up the paperwork and getting everything approved, I looked up, and this one was hanging on the wall. And I said, hey, I thought you said you didn't have one with two P90s in it. And he goes, I don't. And I said, what's that right there? And he looked up and he goes, where the hell did that come in? And he says, you want to play that one? I said, yeah. So he pulled it down, and I went in there and played it for like a minute and a half. And I said, yeah, no. Put that one away. This one's the one that's leaving. And of course, this one was a little more expensive, but another $50. But I was like, hey, $50, whatever. So anyway, I brought this one home, and I adjusted the action. This neck on this thing is so straight. I mean, this is the first guitar I've ever played that you can really I mean, it's just light touch. And it's really the guitar is really it's really I don't know, it's very I have been playing with that Bigsby. As far as vibratos go, this is kind of cool. I mean, it's a totally different design from what Fenders use. Maybe that's what I was missing. I don't know. But I don't think I'm going to get carried away with it. But if you're one of those people that doesn't really have a use for a whammy bar and all that stuff, at this point I would encourage you to check out a Bigsby and just see. I mean, it has a total different feel. I mean, I put the whammy bar in my Strat the other day after playing this one, I was like, well, hell, maybe I was being too critical, and I tried it and I go, no, this sucks. So, but anyway, my point in all this is I wanted to show something that I find really interesting, and I expected this. Well, the first thing is these P90s. Now, there's a little bit of noise in there. I don't know if these are noise canceling P90s or what, but it's in single mode right now. And I'm sitting here talking, and the volume's on. It's not turned up all the way. Now you can hear a little bit of buzz. You should be able to hear it now. Listen to it starting to feedback. You can feel this whole body is just resonating. Now I feel that in my other guitar, especially like I have a Gibson SG, and it's a real light mahogany body, and you know, you get that feedback going and you can feel it in it, but it's not like this. If you let the feedback kind of express itself, this thing will vibrate so hard it's like, okay, we're going to damage the guitar. So and it's a useful, you know, this is I never knew this is a rockin' son of a bitch right here. This is a rockin' ass guitar, and you can play, like, you know, I got it nice and low right now. Nice and smooth. And just crank up the volume a little bit. It's no wonder they like these for jazz, because it's got that real, you'd almost think it had this thing had those nylon coated strings on it or something, because of the way it sounds. Now you can play nice, pretty. Now these come from the factory with RC network, resistor and capacitor network on the pickups, which is what do you call that? It's basically a high pass filter. Ultimately, is what it is. But anyway, I can't remember what you call it. There's a name for that on when you put it on the volume pots. But anyway, it allows you to turn it down, and it doesn't just go right into this muffled, you know, warm sound. You actually retain the highs as you bring it down, and you can kind of get some real note definition in there. So, and there's a whole different video for that. But anyway, my point in all this is it's not that other guitars can't do that. It's that this guitar does it really well. So, now P90s, if you really like to rock it out, P90s are the happening setup. Now, I've played all kinds of humbuckers and all kinds of single coils, and I haven't played them all, so this is not a definitive, demo or explanation or anything else. I'm just simply saying that I've played plenty, and if you want to play if you want to get down on some serious rocking, it's kind of hard to go wrong with P90s. I'm already pushing 15 minutes, so I wanted to keep this under 10 minutes. Anyway, I just bought this, $600. Had to buy a case, which turned out to be $80, I think it was. Um, this is a beautiful, beautiful guitar. I mean, this thing is, if it were any more beautiful, I could say it was stunning. I don't know if it's quite stunning, but I think it retails for $805 or something like that. So I don't know if it's a markdown or if that's just a, well, we'll say that's what it is, and then we'll charge this other price and tell you save $200 or whatever. But anyway, it's got a couple of minor flaws in the finish, which you'd expect for a $600 guitar. At least I would. But aside from that, that stuff right there, if you can see it, yeah, you can. That's cornstarch, like powder you put on after your shower for the fingers. Anyway, if you're looking for something with a lot of bang for your buck, you might check into one of these because, or something similar, because I'll tell you something else about this that I really like. I'm sure somebody else would say, "Oh, that sucks." These, this is, I don't know if you'd say it's not a high ratio or it's not a low ratio, but these tuners, you have to kind of actually turn them to make a change. So it's I guess that would be high gear ratio, because you have to make a big turn to get much of a difference here. I mean, you might get a half turn out of this thing going from, say, E flat to in pitch. So, and I like that, because some of them that are so, a little bit gives you a lot of adjustment, they're hard to get them right on the money. This thing is kind of easy, and this guy sold me some nut sauce. He actually pulled the strings up and put nut sauce in here, and I've checked the tune on this thing 3 times since I've had it, and I have done the most minor of retunes. I mean, this thing is staying in tune, and I mean, hell, the strings are splayed damn near as much as they are on a Gibson. Not quite as much, but damn near it. And I bend the shit out of these strings. I mean, I don't bend it up like 5 notes, but like some people do. But I mean, 2 notes, sure. And it's constantly. I'm always doing it. You would think this thing would be out of tune. So, anyway, that's it. This is a 2019 model. According to the serial number, it was made just a few months ago, so it's new. And this is a badass guitar. I'm telling you right now, I could sell my other guitars and just keep this one, and I would probably be happy as a lark. I mean, truthfully, my perfect combination at this point would be to keep my 98 Mexican Strat and my 2015 SG and this, and I'd be happy the rest of my life, I think. I've got a Carvin bolt, which I love. I mean, that's been my baby for 15 years, and I have a Les Paul, a 2017 Les Paul. I don't remember what the designation was. It's a studio model, but it's their high-end studio. It's right like this far from being the standard or whatever. It's got almost all the bells and whistles, most of them. Anyway, and I mean, I love all these guitars, but these 3 right here, this one right here, this one ain't going out. This is my baby right here. So, anyway, I just figured I'd share that with you, because, it's nice when somebody can give you some feedback on something that they've actually have experience with. I can't stand it when people want to act like they're the authority on something and they've never played it, or they're just going off of what they've heard, and several people have said, Celestion vintage 30 speakers, well, I just don't like that mid spike. Fuck off. Let me tell you something. That mid spike, that's what made rock and roll, buckwheat. So stop reciting that bullshit. Okay. Anyway, so that's my story. Badass. See ya.